Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kim Sachs on another segment of My Mind Mondays. And on today's segment of My Mind Mondays, what I really want to talk about is, y'all can see, I got my black college hat on, my HBCU hat on. And by it being homecoming time period, I just wanted to talk about going to a HBCU. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to a HBCU. There were some circumstances. My initial goal was to go to a certain HBCU. I'm not going to say the name because it's not for their discretion, but so I had tried to go to one, but unfortunately the visit didn't go too well. But just being raised around HBCUs my whole life, predominantly Hampton University, because my mom actually got her teaching certificate from Hampton University. I went to multiple camps as a kid just at Hampton University. So as you can see, I was pretty much raised around HBCUs. A few years ago, I went to Norfolk State homecoming. And I've always said, like, if I was going to pursue an advance in higher education and getting my master's or even possibly getting my doctorate, it would be to a HBCU. And the reason why I say that is because I don't know about how, like, other people's experiences with HBCUs has been, but mine has been great, man. Like, I love going to HBCUs. I love going to the games, just hearing the band play and just seeing how people just carry themselves, because I feel like people who go to HBCU swagger is so much more different than someone else who goes to that's a predominantly white university. And just for further reconciliation, who don't know what HBCU stands for, that's historically black college universities. And I just wanted to get that out there, just as a little side note. But yeah, like I said, their swagger is different, their bravado is different. It's nothing like going to a university and everybody that you was around is pretty much looks like you. They have the same attitude as you, they have the same motivation as you, they have the same goals as you. And just being around that culture, man, like I said, man, it's something fulfilling. Like when you're able to see events like the George Floyd, events, and the Breonna Taylor events transpire, and like everybody feels that same pain, because like it or not, y'all, like when we in America, sometimes I feel like when we have these pains of these unnecessary killings of black African Americans, not everyone feels the same as us. So sometimes we feel lost and we feel trapped, and we don't feel like this nation is always going to have the same cries as us. But noticing just being around HBCU, everyone's black, everyone's pretty much almost all of us had that similar experience, and they're able to hold us in and just let us know like we feel the same way too. And just that alone, and then there's also other experiences, just like everybody, we're raised around the same culture, so the music and the dressing and in the literature that they read into, it's just all similar likings. And even sometimes as a professor, like it's crazy, like when you're able to be around a professor who done been through some of the same things that you have been through, and they're relatable. And like that's all I just want to say is that, like, going to a HBCU, even though I haven't even pursued education in the HBCU, just being around that culture, man, is one of the best experiences that I've ever had. And like I encourage anybody, especially African Americans, man, if your first choice is not an HBCU, man, I don't know what you're doing, man. Because my initially, and like, unfortunately, I want to say this to my Chowan folks, no, my initial choice was not Chowan University. Chowan chose me, but I wanted to go to an HBCU, and I'm not afraid to admit that. And like I said, just going to HBCUs, man, is the greatest experience you could ever experience, man. And like I encourage parents who's raising African American kids, encourage your kid to at least look into one HBCU, because no, they're not Harvard, no, they're not University of Virginia, no, they're not Stanford University, no, they're not Chowan University, but those Howards, them Hampton Universities, those North Carolina A&Ts, them Jackson States, them Grambling States, that Southern University, the Peerview, there's those HBCUs out there, man. They're just as good, they're just as talented, they're just as worthy of us pursuing our education in those universities as much. Like, the only difference between those universities and other universities, and the predominantly white universities, is there's donors. Because some people put more money into their schools. But if we put more money to our HBCUs, I guarantee you, the education, the success rate will be even more higher. So like I said, y'all, go to an HBCU. If you don't even attend an HBCU, go out there just to get the experience. Just go out there and see how the culture is like, especially because around this time period right now, it's homecomings. It's October. It's the homecoming month for colleges. So I say let's go to the HBCU homecoming, experience it, y'all, because it is one of the best experiences you can ever have in your life. And with that being said, y'all, this is Kimberly Sykes doing another segment of My Mind Mondays.